So that way, when you put in your application and your portfolio, they open up your portfolio and they're like, oh, fuck, this person should work here. That's exactly what we're doing. Makes you really easy to hire. The fine artist makes work that satisfies themselves, but they're so good at it that the byproduct of them satisfying themselves creates customers. We've had a huge rise of the fine artists, especially in 3D, in this year, but it's been leading up this whole decade in the presence of NFTs. Now everyone has a shot at being a fine artist. There's no gatekeepers. And that means that you work on your stuff the way you want to do it, as much as you want to do it. And the more customers that you get that are interested in what you do is the more money that you make. And that is a wonderful, amazing life to live. It is a very exclusive life, but it's easier now today than it ever has been, ever of all time. Right? So if you want to live your life as a fine artist, that's fucking awesome. The other side of the spectrum is basically a studio artist, which is, you know, you an indie studio or a 2,000 person studio or like an EA type company that's a corporation or Sony or something like that, where they have 20,000 employees across the world, right? Either way, it's the same. If you want to work at EA, you should be modeling cleats, soccer balls, right? Chairs, stadium chairs, right? If you want to work at Disney, you should be modeling Olaf characters and princesses and Bambi, stuff like that, right? And if you want to work at an indie studio, you look at the work that they're doing, you look at their clients, right? And like if this indie studio is creating horror games for VR or whatever, then you find out what their software is, you find out, and you make art that fits in their game. So that way, when you put in your application and your portfolio, they open up your portfolio and they're like, oh, fuck, this person should work here. That's exactly what we're doing. Makes you really easy to hire. But like when you send out your portfolio and they go, okay, this is a cool tree. Okay, you know, looks like they were inspired by a car once. All right, and now we have we got a lighting piece here, and oh, looks like they did lip sync for 6 weeks, and now they're doing character sculpts, and I don't really see how this fits into our company. We won't contact that person, right? And it may be they have the skills. It's an extra step for them to get to know you and also determine whether or not you're actually going to be able to do the work for them. Like if I'm hiring an environment artist and someone applies and they've got a whole bunch of characters and I don't need a character artist, then I've got to call them, talk to them, say, can you even do it? Is this something you want to do? Maybe I send you a test, you know, like it takes a long time. But if I have another person in my inbox that's like, here's a bunch of environments that look exactly like the environments that your company's already building, well, shit, what's your rate? You know, like it's just that much easier to do, to make that call.